All right, what is going on, world? How we doing today? Welcome to Elevate the World podcast. Today we have episode 17. Sky the Body here. We got Ange Fit. We got Prince, or Train Like Prince, and we are going to be talking about social media today. All right, getting a little bit know about the positives, the negatives, how you can use it, maybe what counts to follow, networking, brand building, stuff like that. But like always, we're going to start this off with our quote from Ange. So what do you got for us today, Ange?
Okay, here's the quote. First off, happy St. Patrick's Day. Scotty's our representation.
Live leprechaun.
He's got enough green and beer for
I didn't
want
to say it, but I do feel like we have our own leprechaun up in here in the Elevated World podcast.
Right. Thank you, Scotty.
Yeah, thank you, Scotty. All right, here's a quote. Connection is why we are here. We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering. So it's all about connection today.
Yep. No, I like that. That's great because social media really is like, I don't know. So kind of like, we're going to go into why we use it. That's going to be our first question for our topic. But kind of like bringing it back to like what kind of started us with social media. Obviously, our laptops or cell phones, computers, stuff like that. MySpace.
Hey, I was going to say, shout out to MySpace, bro. Oh my god.
People can remember, MySpace was like the OG. That was middle school for me.
Shout out Tom. Shout out to Tom.
Shout out Tom, man. Tom started it off, and then he you know what? He took the money and he just left. Right? Nothing like what these guys are doing now. But yeah, so social media kind of just started as like connect with your friends, like not in person. Like obviously we had cell phones, but like we were limited on that with like whether it's like charging for text or calling, like all that jazz. So it was a way to kind of also like express yourself. Like you could change like your skin, stuff like that. You could put your top friends, and then evolved into Facebook, and then we went into Twitter. Then we got Instagram. Now we got TikTok,
AOL Messenger.
Yeah, there's Discord. There's gaming ones. There's like
Snapchat.
There's all sorts of stuff going on now.
LinkedIn.
Reddit.
LinkedIn
professionals.
Apparently, LinkedIn is like what Facebook used to be, right? LinkedIn is like what Facebook used to be, right?
LinkedIn is social media. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, but like everyone always says, like LinkedIn is like more like the professional side of it. Like you're not putting as much as your like personal, but like I could be wrong. I never used it, so
yeah,
I'm not sure. So yeah, it's like why do we use it, right? So for me, like it definitely started off as like trying to connect with friends, entertainment, kind of just like seeing like what's going on with your friends and family, maybe the people that you don't see every day. So my biggest thing when I first started using social media, I think it was my page was like all sports. It was sports, like especially my Instagram is just sports. Trucks, like tattoos, like just things I like. And I got to a point where I was like following like over like 1,000 people, and I was like what are like why do I have so many people I'm following? And then I realized that there's just like a bunch of stuff like that, just like my interest. But then like as I got older, like I wanted to see like what was going on more with my friends and keep active with them and kind of like know what's going on. So then it just kind of like I started like deleting all those, and like now it's like now my social media is just mainly people, maybe some athletes here and there, and then like just a couple other things like the Dolphins or like NFL and like just things like I'm current with. I've been following a lot of like weightlifter programmers, stuff like that. But I like
Tom
to
Brady.
get a lot of Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Don't get me started on Tom Brady.
Right.
Don't get me started.
Hold it back.
Right, hold it back.
You can't even stop you from starting.
Right.
Look, I'm repping Tom Brady coming up. Tom Brady and I are about the same age, so I am on the train. This next season, 100.
All
Tom
I can
Brady
think
all the
about is
way.
how y'all talked about
Tom
he's in it
Brady's
for
a
the journey.
confused teen. He's a confused teen. That's all he is.
Hey,
Make a
midlife
decision,
crisis
dog.
can make him millions. Midlife crisis can make him millions.
Make
Ooh.
a decision. Giselle took him to Target once. He's like, nah, I'm going back to football. He's like, nah, this ain't for me.
Said this is in the wrong lane.
Another thing with social media, when you follow all the platforms, you get the same notification from every single platform. Like Tom Brady came up on like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Bleacher Report. Like he is like everything just started popping. I'm like, I get it. He's back. I get it. So yeah, those are like the main reasons, like kind of like what I use social media. It was definitely a big thing for our generation. We talked about it on the last podcast with our technology of how we had nothing. And then as we progressed in technology, we started getting cell phones, then we got the computer, and then AOL, and then we went into MySpace. And then like, it's just something that's gone with us as we grew up. So it's very important to us. And like some people just don't see why it's important. Some people think it's super toxic. We'll get more into that a little bit. But Prince, tell us a little bit about why you use social media.
I mean, started with MySpace, man. And back then, like if my cousin Dacry, he helped me join the Navy. Anyway, he was like, you don't have a MySpace, man? And he showed me his, and it's like a picture of like his bird chest, his diamond earring, and like he was just on it for the girls or whatever. And so MySpace is where it started. And then like, so social media kind of started like, I guess for like that attention and trying to, connect with people in that sense. Cause I was like, what's middle school? I think around that time.
Mm-hmm. Middle school for us,
like,
at least.
Yeah, like, so I think it started right then, but then like fast forward, like, skip through Facebook, all of that, Instagram, believe it or not, man, I'm going to give y'all a really, really transparent moment of my life. I've made like maybe 5 Instagram accounts, and I would have them and I would get discouraged because of what I would see everyone else post. And I felt like I wasn't worthy to be on social media, or it would make me not feel satisfied with my own life. So I made like 4 or 5 different accounts, and then I would like get that feeling and I would delete it. And then here I am like 6 months later popping up again, and everybody's like, everybody, the followers I did have, they were like, hey man, where'd you go? Like, welcome back, blah, 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 blah. I got really consistent with my social media, and the same reason I use it today, when I started seeing it more so as a way to just put my love for fitness and health out to the world. And when I got more of the mindset of like, okay, like this is my platform to brand myself. This is my way to create that impact. You know what I mean? So now that I don't just have to impact people I see every day, but now I can impact people that don't even live in America, people that I probably may never meet in person, but now I can reach them, and, and then I can be reached as well. So when it became more about like how to use it for growth, and, how I could just like, just expand overall, that's when I stopped deleting my accounts. That's when I got consistent with my posts, and, and that's when I feel like it really started to make more sense and became even more relevant in my life. So overall purposes would be business, branding, reaching people, staying in contact with everyone, still talk to people from back at the gym, from Timonium, still got, in contact with people that I haven't seen in years. And I think it's been cool too. Like when you see someone, from like 4th grade, you know what I mean? And you recognize their government name, and then, they reach out to you and you're like, oh shoot, like it's been like 20 plus years since I've seen them, and just stuff like that, So yeah, connection, branding, business, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah. I just had I posted that picture about me finishing 75 hard, and then I had crushed it.
Hey man, is that your lifestyle now? Because it seems like the habits, like it's not easy to just be like, okay, I want to let all this go. Like I feel like you're gonna want to continue reading, all that stuff.
I got
100%.
questions. Like I want to
100%.
know what are you going to keep doing? I hate to jump off the track of here, but I want to know, like what are you going to keep doing?
I'm definitely going to be doing the reading. I'm definitely going to do the walks, especially on like heavy leg days, because I feel like the walks is what saved me from working out every day. Like just that active recovery, getting that blood rushing to your legs, like not like super high impact, but just like enough to let the healing process happen. Maybe not exactly 45 minutes. Maybe I'll do like a loop where like I can get back. Like
I took mine to 30 minutes. I took it to 30 minutes. I thought that was good. Outside 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I can go quick. I can go for a quick pace. Like it'll be good for Jax. Jax like definitely gets annoyed for the first like 15 minutes of the walk. He's like, we're doing this again. Like literally the other day I put my vest on and he went and just like curled up and lay on top of Megan. He's like, I don't want to go right now because he knows what the vest is. Don't get me wrong. I stayed until midnight, had a shot of tequila, and had 2 bowls of Lucky Charms just because I was like, let's go.
Is that the name of the weed, or is that?
I already planned on once I was gonna
cereal.
Cereal. I'm getting pizza, and again, it's happening. So Ashley even Venmoed me $20 for it. I know, she's like, go get pizza and beer because I've been talking about how bad I want pizza. But like, don't get me wrong, I had the cravings like throughout the whole challenge and stuff like that. Like, but I told people that what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 week. I'm just kind of like letting loose, indulging, having whatever I want, not tracking a thing, just relaxing. And then I'm gonna kind of dial it back the next week. And then I'm gonna try to put my macros kind of more of at a maintain, like kind of up them because I was in a deficit for pretty much 75% of 75 hard. So I definitely want to stay on track. I don't want to like let loose like I did like after my wedding. So I definitely want to kind of like maintain again. Maybe do a deficit for like a month and then surplus again. Just kind of maybe get some muscle back. Because I didn't lose too much muscle. I lost like 6% body fat.
Nice.
I lost like total 10 pounds total weight. It was great.
Nice. All right. So your post was really good. Okay. About you completing.
Yeah. Cause I know how I started. It was like complete 75 hard. If you're tired of hearing it, delete it. Because there's been people that are just like, all right, we get it. We get the point, blah, blah. I know there's people that are like that. So it's just like, hey, if you're tired of it, just keep swiping or unfollow because this is me, man. Like, this is how it is. Like,
that's a huge way to use social media too, to be like, when you use it, be deliberate from people, man. Like, do you?
But so many people have been reaching out just today about like, hey, where can I find this program? Hey, like, what do I have to do? Like, what do I have to like do this, like this? Like, it's something I've been thinking about. I'm just like, do it. Just do it. Like, I've had at least 3 or 4 people during the challenge message me like, hey, I just started this, by the way. Like, you inspired me. And like, that was probably like some of the biggest things I got from it was helping others. And when I started it with some of the members from F45, like Jane, Tiffany, Paul, like all of them, like we were in a group chat and I was like, Prince is in there and I was just like, thank you guys, like thanks for doing this with me. And they're like, no, thank you.
Did everybody finish?
Prince screwed up. I'll be the first to tell y'all, Prince screwed up. So Prince is doing it again. I'm gonna tell you that much right
it's
now.
All good.
Right?
Exactly. That's what I said. That's what I said to everyone, whether you finished it, whether you didn't finish it, whether you like tried and just like didn't work out, like you learn something. You learn, all right, cool. Like this is a little bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. Or
man.
All right, cool. Like maybe it wasn't like a good time. Like it's never a good time to do it. There's never a good time to start.
I was freaking proud of you though, man, because I was like, when you tell me you're like, man, I haven't had caffeine in this, I stopped doing this. And then like even seeing like the physical results, it's just like, yeah, man, go Scotty, go, dude. Like, cause that right there, like that even inspired me to be like, no, I'm gonna still do it, man. Like, you know, just cause like I know like I'm like Scotty did it and I'm inspired just by seeing my boy do it. You know what I mean? And everyone else in the squad, like the way they kind of brought people together, knowing that it's not easy. So it's still gonna happen. Seeing you make it through though, and even seeing you on the other side, you may not even see it, but same Scotty, but you still are like a new man in a sense, bro. So yeah.
You're glowing. You both are glowing.
Scotty's pregnant. I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
All right. Feeling a little sick.
I'm being petty,
but definitely, I would say social media definitely helped me with this because like I was able to help reach other people, inspire other people through it. I put a post up every day, something I learned or something that I heard, a quote.
I love that.
Anything. And I just put it on every day.
That
was key. Because what you didn't do, you did not throw it around. You didn't just be like peacocking, like, look at me. I'm doing this. You actually used it to inspire and educate. And I love that you put a quote every time to help inspire, motivate, or change, or help someone learn. You didn't just throw it around. Okay. So that's something that you did so well. Morgan as well. You two are the ones that I saw the most on social media that were doing
Morgan
it.
looks great, by the way.
Right.
Oh, gee, Morgan's crushing it.
So her posts about her being out in, gosh, man, Mother Nature kicked you guys down so many times. And she would post and she would tell, like, I'd reach out to her and she'd be like, this is what that snowy 10 p.m., 20-degree rock taught me. This is what I saw, or something. So like you both used it very well. Like, I don't feel like I said, like you just, were pumping your biceps. Like you actually inspired and taught during
it wasn't like
so
a,
good
hey,
job.
look at me type of thing. It was definitely, it was a furthest thing from a, hey, look at me type of thing.
Because it was definitely a thing where
well.
like some of the books I read and like just like things I've been watching and some of the athletes I've been keeping up with, it was like just do the work and like people will see your results, and then that's where you'll get the recognition from. It's not like you have to show everyone what you're doing every day. And I felt like it almost happened accidentally. Like I kind of just like sat back from social media because I didn't want to be on it too much because I had so much stuff to do anyway.
Right. No time.
I didn't have time to make posts and do this and like make videos and all that jazz. So it was a good time to just like, all right, cool. Like I would like literally see like, you don't have a post at all today on your story. I was like, oh yeah, I got to put my 75 hard one up there. And that was the only one that was consistent with the whole time.
Good for you.
Ange, why do you use social media? Let's get back.
Lay it on us.
Well, let's go back to, I remember when the internet came out.
Dang. Dang.
I remember I came home and my dad got us a computer. Oh my gosh, we got a computer. Okay. We had the dial up. We had to take the phone cord out and plug it in to use the phone. You couldn't make phone calls because you had to have one line. Then AOL Messenger came out and I was like, this is crazy. Somebody knows I'm on the computer. Like, it was kind of like, oh my gosh. And then I got a little email. I got my email address. And I was like, oh my gosh,
really
big time. Okay. So fast forward. Don't get it twisted. I am 100% relationship, personal connection. Look at me, talk to me over social media. It is just who I am. I thrive on connection with people. So before I get into what I use social media for, I just want to put that disclaimer out there because you guys know I sometimes have a hard time with social media. However, I want to do better. You two inspire me to do more. So I may have some social media goals and some things I'm going to be doing after my competition season's over, because I always have people ask me, why don't you share about you being an athlete? Why don't you share about being a OCB natural bikini competitor? Why aren't you sharing this? Why aren't you sharing your knowledge? So I share it. I use social media to share positive. So that's something that I do. I use it to connect with people. I use it to connect with friends. I use it for business. People message me. And I use it for fun. Okay. I use it to learn. Okay. So I follow a lot of athletes. I always joke that my feed is burgers, biceps, and bikinis because I follow athletes. I love that. It gives me a chance to connect to athletes, other bikini athletes all over the world, and learn from them. So I love that. I do love that. It helps me share my business, and that's what I use it for. Now, with that said, like I said, I want to get better. So I may have some goals that I'm setting to use it more to share about being an athlete and more education. So giving people more of what they want to know about Ange Fit and my world behind my second life or my secret life of competing.
Give the people what they want.
Seriously,
Give the people what they want.
They want to know. They want to know.
They want to know. They want to know. So there you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like we all kind of use social media for the same reasons. Like maybe obviously we have our own like little personal things that we like a little bit more than others. Like you probably follow more bikini people. I may follow like more like wrestlers and like jujitsu stuff, and then Prince. I don't know. Probably
Man,
follows.
I follow a lot of like.
I thought you follow everything.
I follow
dabble a little bit of everything.
Everything, bro. But more so, I love Gary V, and I follow a lot of like fitness pros, or people that like are crushing in the fitness journeys. Like one guy is Mike Rashid, Jeff Logan. There's a lot of different people on there. So using it as a learning tool too. But yeah.
Yeah. And so like obviously most of the things that we did talk about are positives. But like some things you can take from social media for positive is like we've already said, basically getting in contact with people that you maybe haven't in a while. I've been trying to do something recently is like when I think like if memory pops in my head of somebody from the past, I try to reach out to them. And like the only way you can do that sometimes is to maybe on Instagram or on Facebook be like, hey, like by the way, just think about you, like don't judge me for this. But I was driving in the car and I had a country station on and Taylor Swift came on, that song, Our Song, like that old song, like not old.
That's your workout song for this week.
Original.
That's what you're working on this week, Scotty.
Hey, I added some Taylor onto my workout list this week. I added some Taylor. Okay.
But this is like old country Taylor, like first album.
No, she does.
And it was just like when I was in high school, I had a friend Kelsey, and we would just like we'd be jamming out to some country, and the song came on, and we would like just rip into this song. We would just like sing at the top of our lungs. It's like one of the few songs I actually know all the lyrics to, which is embarrassing. And I messaged her, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, like this song came on. I started singing it. I thought of you. I got goosebumps, and I just like had to reach out."
Yeah, and I love that. I do that to people too, and I love doing that with social media when I think of people, reaching out to them, saying hi.
Yeah, no, I think that's what keeps it real, man.
Yeah, it keeps it real. Totally.
If you like see someone on Instagram and like the whole like just liking it, like we talked about this in the past podcast, just like it's gone to just like it, gone to a view. Like there's so many like such little you have to do to recognize someone when they
on Facebook. Can you still
something.
Poke people on Facebook?
I don't think you can poke. I think they got rid of that. That was getting weird.
All right. I think Facebook, don't judge me, Facebook people. They're going to block this podcast. I will say that I rarely get on Facebook anymore.
Same here. Rarely. I try to, but everything I post on Instagram goes to Facebook.
It doesn't interest me. Like it just does not. Again, people over, I like to talk to people, but Facebook I couldn't do without.
Yeah. But like I said before, engagement's easy. There's tools that can help you like promote your business, share photos, your brand, anything like that. So like there's a lot of positives. But what I really want to get into is some of the toxicity, some of the negative stuff that we may not really notice, or the things that we do notice. Maybe some like tips on just like maybe how to stay away from it, or kind of like veer away and like maybe find out what's true, what's not. One of the biggest thing is, I would say in the fitness world, is you have a lot of influencers out there that are promoting certain behaviors or looks and stuff like that. And not that they're meaning to like degrade people or like make people feel bad, but I don't know if it's intentional or not, but like people just get like in the algorithm and like certain stuff just pop it on their page, and like now they just like think that like this is like a perfect way to look. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think it definitely started like I'm not trying to knock anybody. Like models, like back then they were all supposed to be super skinny and like the thigh gap and like all this stuff, and like you don't want to eat too much and carbs are bad for you and you won't look like Giselle, you won't look like Heidi Klum, like stuff like that. So, and I feel like that caused a lot of eating disorders and a lot of unhealthy physical nature of body image, basically. So I feel like people are doing a very good job of kind of like nixing a lot of that, especially like with the whole like perfect and like I always look like this and like the camera angles and like models now showing like what their pose photo looks like to compare their like kind of like relaxed photo, and it's just like it's not there. You know what I mean? It is different. Like, so I feel like people are doing a good job with that, but yeah, and then they got politics and people just bashing each other, and then you got cyber bullying and things like that, which really, really destroys it for everyone, like kids, maybe certain adults, people that just feel self-conscious, like stuff like that. Like, just, it comes, what we always talk about is about being a good person. You know what I mean? I catch myself sometimes like reading through the comments and like seeing someone like bashing like someone that put a picture up, and like I used to go in there and be like, you're like blah blah blah, like stop, like I used to just kind of like go in and we get into like a fight. I'm like, this is stupid. Like why am I doing this? Like I'm just like starting an argument for no reason. So like I got really good at like stop. I don't do that anymore. I just move on.
Good.
Exactly. And then and then politics stuff, like I trust, like I'll just like if something I don't I disagree completely, or it's just something that like puts me in a bad mood, I'll just like and I see that consistently, I'll just kind of unfollow that person. Like, I don't need to see this. Like, this is not why I'm on here. I don't need to get on here to get heated, you know.
I'm like you, bro.
I'm always down for a debate and we could talk, but when you're just like very one-sided and you can't look and see someone else's view, like that, you know, that's the deal breaker for me. I feel like I can go on and off about this. I feel like I'll touch in with each of yours. So Prince, what are some things you would suggest people maybe to keep away, or some things that you notice that are kind of toxic with social media?
A couple things. First thing I want to say, man, and I try not to curse too much on here, but dude, like cyberbullying is straight up bitch assness. I'm sorry, dude. Like that's weak. It's weak. Why are you bullying anyone, period? But it's weak.
Right.
And you can hide behind your screen and your keyboard. That's weak. Period. That's a big one. You know what I mean? And I think that is a point where, you know, when you enter social media, you definitely gotta have like some sense of self. You know what I mean? You gotta have that solid. You gotta be solid within, so that like, you know, when you do step into the internet, like you know what to take in, you know how far to like take something, how serious to take something. You know what I mean? I would say like another negative thing, or just like a misuse of the tool. I would say be catfish. Catfish, like, and this is funny. I mean, this is me just pointing out something random, but like catfish. I've been catfished before, man. That's why. Younger days. That, and I think, you know what? I think that catfish goes beyond just liking someone or trying to act like, okay, I'm trying to date. Dude, I think not shout out any names, but I feel like there are certain influencers or people that like, you know, run social media and they're catfishing the crowd because they're not who they say they are. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I think that's a huge issue. I feel like, you know, like everyone's unique in their own way. And if you look at the sun, man, the sun doesn't have to fake or be anything. You know it's there. The sun doesn't have to even say anything. And I feel like with social media, like post you, be you, like just exist. You know what I mean? And the right followers will come along. You'll connect with the right people, all that stuff like that. But like, I feel like there's no need to be fake. Another big thing too is don't post all of your life on social media. Don't go on social media and post like everything that's bad that just happened to you, or don't, you know, try to go on social media and use your story as that platform to just like complain or certain things like that, because I understand want to be heard out, and also understand sharing, you know, like certain things, but sometimes it can backfire on you, and then now that what you just shared is being used against you. You know what I mean? In that sense, or you've like just let the world into too much. You know what I mean? Like you haven't drawn that fine line, you know what I mean, between your personal life and social media, which I think can be dangerous as well when you don't know how to draw that line. I rarely ever try to think about the bad things or the negatives. I've been trying to just focus on like that glass half full, even with social media. But I would say those are my biggest things, man. Like I would say being fake. I would say any type of bullying, sharing too much of your personal life, and then looking up to be like, dang, man, I really shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? Like getting too much into your feelings on social media, I would say be a big thing. And then misinformation just on so many different things. You know what I mean? There's misinformation about people and things of that nature. Like anything that, you know, any way that social media is used as in a form of harm to someone else, you know, that's an automatic thumbs down and a deal breaker for me. And, you know, something I definitely don't agree with doing or using the platform for, whatever platform it may be.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be a liar. Like, be a good person. Like, we always come back to that. I definitely agree with you on. I stopped using Twitter. Like, I was never big on Twitter, but I noticed a lot with Facebook as well. Is that people are just like, oh man, like this happened. Like they're just like so negative, like constantly, like over and over and over. And like I don't like maybe they're looking for some sympathy. Maybe they're looking for that kind of just like, oh, like it's gonna be all right. Like, which I understand. Like some people like need that, but it's just like I don't want to look at that all the time. Like that's like you're putting like toxic vibes like now in my day. Like, yeah, I would like to help you, but like the way you come about it, like the delivery is what matters. You know what I mean?
I don't need to be eating that up, and you know, I don't need to be taking that in.
Yeah.
You know?
And not like 5 times a day, like, oh, like the person at the traffic light, like give you a bad look. You're like, all right, who cares? Like, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, I spilled my coffee on the floor. Like, oh, FML. Like, no one cares. Like, that's like, but I guess like I see what people might need to do. I guess because they just like they feel like that's where they're either their safe places or where they feel like they can be heard. Like a lot of people just want to be heard, which like I could understand, but like sorry, like I'm gonna probably unfollow or might just not look at your page anymore. So.
There's a beautiful tool on there where you can block people's content.
You can mute them.
You can still follow them. Like you just can mute. You can mute that track. You can mute it. Yeah.
Yep.
You push it. You pushed off your plate.
Exactly. I did that a couple of times. Yeah. All right. And.
Well, I definitely believe in mental hygiene. So what you feed your brain, okay, is what mental you're going to bring in and put out into the universe. So if you're absorbing everybody's crap on Facebook, that's what you're getting out. That's what you're giving out. So I'm a true believer of that. And I really feel that the comparison game comes into play on social media. Dude. The false sense of reality comes into play. There's been so many things over the years exposed, from the fitness girl getting pads put in her butt to give her the perfect booty before the fitness shoot. Athletes, when they're ripped, to, you know, get a ton of photo shoots done, and through the years they post them when they really don't look like that in their improvement season, because you really can't stay stage ready 24/7, 365. It's unhealthy. But for some reason, they feel that their body changing is a weakness because they're playing the comparison game. They're playing the game of social media. So the false sense of reality is real. What social media has, well, the impact that it has on young girls, being a mom of a daughter. My child has no social media, and I will not let her. There's no TikTok. There's no Instagram. She's in middle school, and just looking at the studies on how social media affects the age between 10 and 16, 10 and 18, it's terrifying. I want my daughter to grow up being her best self and only being herself, not comparing herself to others, not getting on social media to see a false expectation that has been put out there. That is not healthy. You know, spending all this time in front of the screen is not healthy. Let's get out and play sports. Let's read. Let's grow. Right. That I'm super passionate about. I mean, I've even had her friends come up to me, Miss Angela, can Reese please have TikTok? No. No.
You can TikTok for her though.
Does she ask you though? Like, or is she like, I feel like, I was gonna say, I feel like the way you brought her up, like she's like, I feel like she doesn't even have that need. Like, you know what I mean?
She does not.
Because you brought her up so well that way.
And we talk about social media, and I share things with her. I'm like, Reese, look at this. This person just put this out there and it's out there forever. Because that's another thing that young people need to realize. When you put it out there, you may think that Snapchat goes away, but I'll tell you it doesn't. Being that one of my best friends is a detective for the internet, it's there. They find it. They know how to find it. That's what their jobs are. Your Snapchats do not disappear at all. And detectives, if there's an issue, if there's a picture that's sent, yeah, they got it. They absolutely have it. So I teach her what you text, and because she does have a phone and she does text, what you send is always there. So those are the negative things from a parent point of view and from an athlete's point of view. And also, too, another negative thing, if you are following a meal plan or you have your own goals or you're competing on stage or you're doing 75 hard or you are a soccer athlete, if you follow coaches and athletes, you kind of can get wrapped up in like, wow, what are they doing? Maybe I should abort my mission and look at what they're doing, when really you got to follow your own path and everyone's path is different to get to their goals. So I feel like you can get too much noise, too much noise about what this coach says to do when your coach is telling you to do this, but really this is the right thing for you. You can take on too many information instead of staying your course and enjoying the process and enjoying and accepting your journey. Sometimes we try to hop on somebody else's journey, right? So I feel like that can be a negative also, where your brain is full of, how can I lose body fat? How can I gain muscle? How can I paint this piece of furniture better? Like whatever that it is.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to stay your course and block out the noise. So that's my negative impact.
That's why it's super important to unplug from social media. Like tap in, tap out.
Yep. I've definitely been someone who has fallen like victim on like, you have to look good on social media. Like I would like, for the longest time, I would never put like a picture of me shirtless because like I didn't have like abs or anything like that. So like that was like me for the longest time. Like I had to make sure like things were like perfect when I went up there, or people just like would look at me like, oh, like, ew, look at this guy. Like like now I like literally don't, like, I can give two shits. Like literally don't care anymore.
Right.
So sweet. Now that we got the negativity out of there, what are some ways that we could efficiently use social media? The last couple of points that I kind of put in here kind of like all kind of wind up how to efficiently use it. Get like Anne just said, kind of piggybacking off what she just finished with, is kind of getting rid of all the noise. I mean, if you could always go back and follow something, like especially if it's like not like an actual person, it's more like just like a fitness page or like a coach or like something like that. You could always go back and follow them again. It's not like you can never follow them again. So like if you're on a journey and you're looking to get on stage for a bikini, maybe that will be like the one thing that you're only following, and like maybe some friends, or you can get off of it completely too. That could be another thing, but like efficiently use it to what your goals are. So every time you do go on, you are reminded what your goal is. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's not something you can get off social media that easy. Some people are just kind of just straight up addicted to it. Change it, make it to what you need and what you need to get out of it. So like I try to stay everything with coaching, sports, like athletics. I got rid of like all the cars, and I used to follow like, sorry. Crap, what's going on?
Where'd Scotty go?
I'm right here. Sorry.
There he is.
Crap, I just lost my train of thought now.
You've got rid of cars. Who you follow?
Yeah, so like I got rid of like all the like this like the noise on my, like I used to like follow like fitness models and like this and that, and like I don't need that. Like I'm happily married. Like I don't like need to be looking at girls. Like I don't need to be looking at cars that like I'm not going to afford like anytime soon, or like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's my friends, it's my family, it's sports, like it's stuff that I am active in, it's stuff that I have passion in, and it's stuff that is keeping me on track.
I like
and
that.
Then And then when it comes to branding, networking, like I might follow other F45s. So like I'll kind of see what they do. Maybe ask them questions like, hey, how do you guys get your members more engaged during the challenge? Or like how'd you do this? And like that will help me like be better at my job, which will help everybody at the gym. Or like building my own brand. Like I promote First Form. I tell people what I do every day, and then I'm a good example of what maybe they want to look like or which direction they want to go in, and then I can maybe help them and guide them through that. So like it's all about building your own brand, networking, knowing what to follow, what not to follow, and really just using social media to its full potential.
Be strategic with
and
it.
Trying to find your own full potential.
Yeah, being strategic. Exactly.
I like that, strategic. Yep.
And social media strategy.
All right, Prince, what we got? Tell us about how we can work on our social media game.
Man, I would say the biggest thing with social media, I think like if you are not just someone who's consuming social media, but you actually put stuff out there, consistency is key. And I mean, I preach this to myself because like that's something that like I really have to stay hard on myself with, is that consistency. Consistency is key. You know what I mean? And that goes along with that social media strategy with like, you know, it's a great place to network, to build, you know what I mean? So being consistent, like, and then like, kind of like you, Scotty, like you said, you only follow or, you know, kind of keep your social media oriented around pretty much you and what you care about, what you're working toward, you know, what you want to learn, you know what I mean? So you got like that, use that as like your opportunity to kind of cultivate and, you know, like, you know, what you want, cultivate your social media from everything you post to what you bring in, like you can truly make it your own. I'd say one of the best things social media has helped me with is just overall learning technology. Because like you get to see, you know, all the different technology, but like once I started getting into creating content, I got a chance to like learn how to edit videos, learn like all this different stuff that I probably would have never even thought about messing around with, you know what I mean? Had not social media came around, it would have just went completely over my head. But it's pretty cool to actually see, you know, the behind the scenes work with all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's another way to it. Like social media is a great way to like freaking utilize that creativity, whatever it is that you do. You know what I mean? I think like social media is a great way. Did we lose Ange?
I think so. She might jump back in though.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great way. It's a great way to pretty much use that creativity that you have, man. And I think another great way with social media is just, I'd say take it with a grain of salt. You understand how powerful it is, but also realize that you are in control. Don't give social media that power. Like if you realize that you are in control when you got your handheld device or your iPad or whatever, you control it and realize that you are in control on social media. I think that is golden. And I think that makes it that much more beneficial for you as a user, whether you are putting stuff out or consuming. If you're a consumer, goes right back to what you said, man, cater what you consume. Like really cultivate that, you know what I mean? Like truly pick and choose what you're going to give your attention to. And shoot, Instagram is a university. YouTube is a university for learning. Like when I first got into fitness, like I was on YouTube and Instagram following people who were doing what I wanted to do, who looked how I wanted to look, but also they knew what it took to get where I was trying to go. And you know, a lot of it was just a bunch of bro science out there, blah, blah, blah. But you could kind of pick and choose, and then you could also fact check that information. I mean, it's limitless, man. You could be as strategic or as sloppy as you want. You know what I mean? Honestly, when it comes to social media.
No, 100%.
You know, I think that you've actually gotten pretty well, like with like we talked about this a few months ago, like with like how you were just being consistent with the reels and the music. You know what I mean? And I feel like for me, like when I first saw that, I was like, man, that looks so complicated to do. And then like started messing around with like editing apps, like splicing this and that, man. I think like, you know, that made it fun, but like you grew from that, you know what I mean? And now like people can see what you do. So many more people know Scotty because of your social media. So it's a really awesome thing, but you know, just like everything else, man, it's good and bad.
Yeah, and then you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, for sure. No, I was just rambling.
And like you said, like follow things that you want to follow, but like if you follow things that are going to like lead you into like doing things you shouldn't be doing, if you're following like someone who always puts up like memes about being lazy and like putting up like, oh, like you're doing this, but like I'm doing this, like I'm hanging out doing nothing, like that can like trigger something in your mind, like that can like if you've been lazy before and you've been working so hard, you're like, oh, well, I've been doing so good, and then you can like lead yourself in that wrong direction. So
yeah, no, agreed. I think it's that, man. You could definitely do that. I was about to say one more thing, and the dog barked and took the thought out of my head, man. Literally, because I'm listening out for baby girl. I'm listening out for the dog.
Right.
Oh, Anne's back. There we go. There she is.
I'm back. Technical difficulties. Cool. People just want to call me all the time. And then I'm like, you send them the voicemail and then they call again. And you're like, no, there's a reason, right? Yeah. But for me, I love tailoring your social media to what you're interested in, which side note, I did post I snapped a screenshot of my Instagram search. How did all the food posts? I found Reese a couple cookie recipes. Next thing you know, my whole Instagram search is all food. I'm like, what the heck? So watching the documentary that we watched called, I forget what it was called, but it was about social media. Very interesting. And I wish I had the name of it, but it opened my eyes to a lot of things. But I totally agree. Tailor it. Your social media should be things that you are interested in, not negative. Remember, mental hygiene, what you fill your brain. There she is.
She's chill now that I have her.
That's something I want to see on social media, cuteness. Oh my gosh. Now I'm off track.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So follow the positive, leave the negative, and limit your time. So I celebrate Lent. So I think I told you last time, Reese put a timer on my social media, and it lets me know when I reach my time, and then I don't get on anymore. And guys, honestly, that has been so helpful. When it comes to networking, building your brand, I know I need to get better at that, and I'm planning on it. And I just want to say you two do a fabulous job at that. And you guys motivate me to learn technology because I tend to shy away from it. I do better talking. I do better with words than I do with social media.
And we need people like you, though, because there's other people on the other end of that, vice versa.
Right. I'd rather talk to you in person, but I do need to get better, and I'm planning on doing that. I have some ideas, and yeah, I'm going to share more about what people want to know about things that I do, because I do feel that I can inspire, motivate, and help people become more dedicated. This is what we do for a living. But one other positive social media resource is GroupMe. I have a GroupMe for all of the studio clients. I post in it every day. We have weekly focuses. We have things. We have suggestions. We have challenges. I love every day, even Saturday and Sunday, every day I post in our GroupMe. It's the Sunshine Studio, and it's amazing, and I love it. So that is one form of social media that I love. And I got that from us guys working on the challenge for F45. That GroupMe is amazing. So that is one.
I still use it.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, GroupMe is a game changer.
Yeah. So that's what I got. How to use it more efficiently. Follow people and things that inspire you and are quality information. How can you content? What are you learning from it? And when you're posting, put out content that people can learn from.
Exactly. Like if you're having trouble branding yourself, like be consistent. Like I learned through First Form is like you don't have to have a workout account and then your private account. You can merge them together because it's who you are. There's no sense in dividing it up. People want to know who you are. So I was putting a bunch of fitness stuff up on one page, and then I realized like maybe like make it not as saturated on my personal page, but like I'll put those up. I can put them in my story or something like that. I'm still putting pictures of like me and Megan or the dog or like of you guys, like, you know what I mean? So like sometimes just showing, like, people want to know who you are. They're not following you just because they only want to see like a picture of your face every day. Like they want to know what's going on.
Right.
So like plan it out. Like maybe put like Mondays, do like a picture of your workout. Like Wednesdays, do like a picture of something you love, like your hobby. And then like Friday, do like something with family and friends. Like, and like if you're consistent like that, and then you're just constantly putting stuff on your story, like that's going to help build your brand.
Right. First form athletes, there's a bunch of them out there, Scotty, you're one included, that give great information. First form athletes, I don't know if it's part of your training or just who these people are, but there's, you know, a handful that I think give such good information, and I just adore them. And you guys, First Form, I'm not a part of the company, but it's inspiring. I mean, it is inspiring. Not just the products are amazing, but you guys as athletes and what you put out there and how you are for, I think that you guys are for everyone, every shape, every size, every goal, everything. And I love that tremendously. I'm a huge fan. I will say my feed is full of a ton of First Form athletes because I feel like you guys do it the best. Absolutely.
And you'd be a great Legionnaire, I'm just saying.
Not that I've talked to them before, but it wasn't the right time for me. But
no,
maybe in the future.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It might be on my 2023 plan, Scotty. I may be hitting.
It can happen. I don't feel like First Form's going anywhere except up. No. You know what I mean?
They going
absolutely, absolutely. And not that we're here to talk about First Form, but by far one of the best fitness slash supplement companies in the game. Absolutely, hands down. From the leaders to the athletes to just people like me who their products are really freaking good, guys. And I've had a lot of different supplements in my life. Like, let's move on. Maybe Scott and I will be business partners one day. Maybe I'll go to Summer Smash. And meet Andy Frizella and give Claire P. Thomas a hug.
That was definitely my highlight, meeting Claire Thomas.
Or Hannah.
FC Hannah.
It's my girl. She's having a baby. She's my best friend. She just don't know.
She still looks ripped.
Yeah. She's my best friend. She just don't know yet. Like, we would be besties. Totally.
So that kind of brings us. You kind of like brought in there. I didn't text it to you guys, but who are some must-follow accounts on Instagram? I'm terrible at remembering names. I have the people I follow, and they pop up, and like that's how I follow them. So I'm kind of like bad with that. Claire Thomas is great. She's putting out some crazy workout at least once a week. She's always putting some kind of recipe up there. She travels a lot, so you always get to see somewhere fun that she's traveling. She travels out of her van with her husband. I believe it's her husband. Boyfriend.
I don't know. Did I miss something? Are they engaged? We're starting a rumor. We're starting a rumor.
Oh, check out her page.
Starting rumors.
Hannah Ray Jones also. She's also great to follow. Tia Tooney, right? No.
Yes.
Claire.
Yeah. Tia
Toomey. Yep. And like these are like sorry, they're like all First Form athletes. Like they're the people who, like, if you want education, if you want inspiration, if you want to see that every day, like these are some of the people that you want to follow. What about you, Prince? Who are some must follows?
Gary V, for sure. Mike Rashid, Jeff Logan. These are two fitness people who like not only just crush it in the fitness industry, but they just crush it at life. So yeah, Jeff Logan, Mike Rashid.
Jeff Logan,
yeah. Gary V is he just gives a lot of game, man. I just love the game that he gives. There's this guy named Marquell Russell, I believe. His company's called like Client Attraction University, but he gives some really great, just great advice on like how to market yourself. Like he gives some of the cleanest game I've ever heard as far as like running a business, marketing, and all of those good things. And then just like being a good person, just advice to help you get through your day. You know what I mean? Maybe you have a rough day, or maybe you need some inspiration, or you need somebody to remind you to keep going. You know what I mean? He's one of those type of people. Outside of that, there is a first form athlete, Julianne. She was the one that actually like forwarded their account over to me. His name's like Stacy something Jr., I believe.
Yes!
He's got
Oh, Stacey Irwin.
Yeah, man.
Stacey Irwin.
I don't want to look like him. I just want hair like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's tight.
I will tell you guys, he was one of the reasons why I started that stretching in the morning. I saw his morning routine. I was like, guys, this guy's got his routine on lock in the morning.
And that mobility,
I have got to elevate.
Yeah, he's tight.
I was like,
dude, I got to watch him
elevate
at
my
Summer
game.
Smash.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, how much of an athlete he is.
Yes.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like the stuff that he was doing, like backflips, like somersaults, like all that kind of shit. Like it was wild. That dude's a beast.
I love that type of stuff, man. That's like superhuman stuff. And you know what I mean?
I love that stuff. I get a little like, okay, so when I follow people on social media, I never want to meet them because I have this fear that they're going to not be nice people. Like they're not going to be, like they're going to let me down, because I had that happen to me multiple times. So like I wouldn't want to meet him because I feel like he's like this super nice, down to earth dude, and I'm just going to keep it that way in my head.
Sometimes things are better that way.
That's what I say.
Yeah, sometimes with some athletes too. Like I'd rather just like be a fan of their performance and not know what's going on all the time.
Yeah.
And I want to bring one more person. Grace Frizella. She is, I think, like the cousin of the Frizellas. And she's like this little petite badass. And she's always putting.
She's got like workout videos and stuff?
She has workout videos.
Nice.
She does recipes. She has a funny reels, stuff like that. Like she'd be really worth. She has recommendations for books. She's a big coffee snob. Like,
we would be best friends too.
Like, right? No, she's great.
Well, mine guys are a bunch. Well, I follow. It's mostly, like I said, fitness. Do podcasts count as social media? Does YouTube count as social media? What's your thoughts on that?
I would say
as long as you're like partaking, like you're commenting and you're like
right, because you can comment on YouTube and all. Like if you watch a podcast like ours, obviously
you can subscribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would say one of my top my top podcasts are Real AF with Andy, the Ed Milet Show, and The Mind of George. Those are my top 3. I love them so much. Those 3 podcasts really inspire me. I also follow them on social media, Andy Frizella, George Bryant, and Ed Milet. Love them. Dana Lynn Bailey, always a fan of her. Love Dana Lynn Bailey, love Rob Bailey, love their accounts. So inspiring. DLB's my girl. I will never meet her again. I've had chances to go meet her. I just want to keep in my head that I just love them. So I will not meet them, but the Baileys, Dana Lynn Bailey and Rob Bailey, are 2 of my top. I find them so inspiring. But I also follow a lot of like Olympians, bikini competitor Olympians, that I just find give great information. I really get good info from them and good motivation from them. I get to talk to some of them, and then, that's why I like social media as well. And I follow like a lot of like James Clear and like, ones that are like motivating as far as quotes and information about life. I follow a lot of quotes. Tim Grover. Yes. Tim Grover is one. Absolutely. And I keep it positive. So those would be the top ones that I follow, or if I'm on social media, I will seek them out to see what's what's happening. Claire P. Thomas is another one that's great. The First Form Instagram in general is great. They give great information. And then you guys have all your individual accounts. And yeah,
you got me on someone, Ashley Horner.
Ashley Horner is another
you got
one
me on,
that I love.
I follow her. She's a badass too.
What a woman of purpose, a giving, selfless woman full of purpose to change the world and help others. Amazing. I just find her completely inspiring. She's another one that I will seek out to watch. And Emily Frizella, like Andy's wife's so inspiring with women in business. She's incredible. I could go on and on, but we're going to stop it there for me.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That was good. Hopefully this definitely helped you guys. If you have any questions on maybe like what ways you can use social media in your benefit, obviously take a look at, or maybe go over some of the negative stuff that we talked about, try to like get rid of some of that. You may not think about it. So maybe hearing it from somewhere else can help spark that and kind of delete that from your feed.
I would say start by cultivating who you follow. Start by cultivate that news feed. What shows up, what you scroll through, cultivate that real fast. And that could take some time depending on how many people you follow.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And not all the food that keeps popping up on I can't get over all the food. Like literally, I took a picture of it and posted it on my Instagram account because I'm looking at this. I went to go search probably somebody that I was just talking about. It's literally burgers, cookies, fries, the whole entire page, like scrolling. I was like, when did this happen? I just looked for a couple cookie recipes for Reese to show her something. It was crazy.
You've been hacked.
One of the clients or members at 45, Steph Donna, she has a thing called Gourmet Steph, and she like does food reviews, and she'll like have like, she has like healthy like Snickers like with dates and dark chocolate and stuff.
Fun.
And then she'll do healthy, not healthy. She has stuff like with cognac cake. So maybe give her a check out, Gourmet Stuff.
Yes. Recipes and people who post good recipes and take the time to do that are incredible. I really appreciate that stuff.
You almost you think it's her job, and it's not. Like it's what she does on the side.
That's awesome. That's how good she is. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
All right. So let's finish it off with some music that we are listening to this week. This song has been coming up in a bunch of the mixes at 45 on Fit Radio, and they remix it a lot. It is definitely an oldie. I don't even know maybe what year.
I was probably in high school.
Gimme by ABBA. Man After Midnight. You know the song I'm talking about?
I don't know.
I probably will if I heard it. Sorry.
Yeah, if we heard it.
Yeah.
All right.
ABBA.
Yeah, so that,
you said ABBA.
Yeah. Gimme. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I'm bad at it. But yeah, that's what I've been hearing it over and over, so it's been kind of like stuck in my head. So
cool.
Check it out. Prince.
Man, so
what lullaby you rocking out to?
Yeah, dude, this song that you put
a lullaby.
Yeah. Nah, this baby jams. Now she likes to listen to running water.
Nipsey.
Nature. Nipsey. Right. Nah, not yet. We've been just doing the nature sound so far. She chill right now. Yeah. She's pretty chill overall. You know what I mean? Honestly, she's really chill. That's why we're hanging out right now. But dude, you put me onto a song, and it's so tight. It's that song by Joey Perp called Elastic.
Yes, love that song.
Like that song, like it's an all-purpose song. Like whether you want to go work out, you want to hit the club, go on a jog, go on a drive. Right now. Like it's a thumper. It's just tight. Yeah, Joey Perp Elastic. Like you gotta turn that on. It's also great. Like especially if you're teaching a group fitness class, like I'll hit them with that during the warm up and just get it going.
Right, everyone starts bobbing their head. They're like, okay.
Yeah, yes. Joey Perp, it's a good song. Elastic.
Joey Perp. Right, Ange. We rocking, we jamming, we hip hop.
We are rocking. We are rocking because I have more food, so I have more energy. So my lifting has been heavier. So we're going with Metallica, and we're going with the song One. Okay. So if you're listening to One, fast forward to about 4.5 minutes in and just hit that guitar solo.
How long is a song?
It's like a 7-minute song.
It's a 7-minute song.
Look.
Okay, I was like 4.5 minutes in. Usually most songs end at that time.
It's a banger.
Let me give you the history of music. Songs now are shorter because number one, they stream faster. Okay, because that's how music. Number two, people's attention spans are much smaller now. Back in the day, jam bands, like you just get on that guitar and you would go for 7 minutes and not even realize your song set. Look at Iron Butterfly, Anagata Davida. That's what, a 15-minute song? So
Freebird, 7 minutes another.
Yes. So that's how it used to be. That's how it used exactly. That's how it used to be. So listen to the song, get the 4.5 minutes, and just start lifting and think of me for that song, Metallica One. And I have a special connection to this song because, guys, this is just a weird thing. Like when MTV came out and this video came out, it was like a big deal. It was about war, and this guy was missing his legs, and he was in a hospital back in the war, and he was all bandaged up. And honestly, guys, that was like one of the first like scenes or how I learned how war really was that video. Isn't that weird? But it would come on every day on MTV, and it was just like shocking, that this really happened to people. But the video it's crazy because it just reminds me of growing up. But Metallica One, put it on your lifting playlist. Plus, you can slow down your lifts to it as well. Even though it's a rocking song, you can slow down too.
Yeah, no, just jam. I did also want to say, make sure you guys are saying prayers, support for Ukraine. Everything's going on there. When you said war, that kind of reminded me of it. They're doing a great job at doing what they can to defend off Russia. They've been stopping all of their most of their like attacks and stuff like that, which has been kind of inspiring, like almost like as like a country, they've been how they came together and how they're fighting for everything. And I know a lot of people that are really putting in a lot of work to help and support that. So make sure you can do what you can. Just keep them in your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Prince, you got anything for us before we head out?
Man, dude, I honestly just want to take it back to something I said earlier. This has just been sticking with me since it's a sunny day. Like someone else said this, but like, they basically were just talking, they were talking about like how like your presence is golden, just you being you, and how like, like you don't really have to do much to be you. And he talks about like how like the sun does not have to do anything to be the sun except shine. It's there. It doesn't say a word. It just is. And that's powerful. So that's just a thought that was on my mind. I feel like you can take that however you want to take it and you apply it to your own life, no matter what you're dealing with or what you're trying to become or how you want to navigate things. But you hold power just being you, just shining like the sun does. All you got to do is just shine.
Love it.
The sun doesn't try. The sun doesn't try to be the moon.
Nope. No. It's still where it is.
No. Exactly. I just see Prince just being a great grandfather right there.
Oh man, dude, I'm ready.
I love it.
Oh, dude. So yeah, this has been like this has been the highlight. This is Harlow, everyone. All she cares about is milk and cuddles right now.
My gosh.
So she's about 7 pounds, and she's tiny, and it's crazy. Like bringing her home showed me how big my other kids were. Like they showed me how big. She definitely showed me how big my other ones were. But yeah, this is I don't know. I'm tired. Like literally, because she gets up, she sleeps pretty well, but she still gets up usually right before I'm getting ready to head to work or so. So tired, but I'm the happiest I've ever been, just like with being a dad and just everything with life, overall. So yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate that, man.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end it on that. You guys are gonna check us out on social media.
Yeah, talk about
right
social
side.
media.
That's what we just talked about it.
I
So
think
check
I
us
got it.
out
There
down
we go.
there, wherever we're pointing.
You did it. You did it. All right, Ange,
Bing,
almost.
Ange
And I'll
Fit,
get better. I'm gonna
Train
get
Like
better.
Prince.
I promise.
Well, we're all getting better. We're all growing. Guys, like, subscribe, share, let the people know. Let us know. Give us a topic that you guys want to hear from us.
Please.
Yeah, please. Like, we want to know what you guys want to hear. And we're gonna have some special guests coming up in upcoming weeks. So be ready for that. They might not know it yet, but they are. So it'll be fun as well.
One of them might be watching right now.
Who knows? Who knows?
You don't know. Just saying.
Could be you.
Could be you.
You.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great day. And deuces.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace.